It's been a few weeks now since Splatoon 3 version 11 dropped, and I have a lot of thoughts. I made sure to wait a bit before writing this video because I really wanted to experience all of the new features a good amount before forming an opinion. But now that some time has passed, let's talk about it. We're going to approach this video from multiple angles. My own personal perspective, a dually user's perspective, as well as a general Splatoon player's perspective. I'm going to be addressing the perspective of a dually player since I know that a good portion of my audience are, well, dually players. If you enjoy Splatoon content and want to see more videos like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because that really helps me out. Also, quick plug, be sure to also subscribe to my second channel where I post a lot more extra Splatoon content, as well as my Twitch VODs, link in the description. Splatoon 3 version 11 was monumental because it introduced quite a few new mechanics into the game, which was kind of unheard of since the game's launch. There were 4 massive changes, so let's go over all of them. First, we have Flow Aura. Everyone was freaking out about this when it was first revealed, saying that this would be super unbalanced and break the game. Once the patch dropped, however, I have not heard a single soul say that, and I have to agree. First of all, Flow Aura isn't exactly easy to activate. You need to get 3 splats within a very short window, or build up your flow points through other means and then get another splat. I'm not going to go through all the hidden mechanics of Flow Aura here, but if you are curious, Squid School made a great video detailing exactly how Flow Aura activates. I'll link that down below. In a nutshell though, it's not very easy to activate, and even when you do activate it, it's not exactly game-breaking. The mobility perks are nice, and certain weapons do benefit from it quite a bit, such as the 52 gal or dapple dualies, but ultimately, it just kind of feels like Tacticooler. The only difference is you don't have the rest of the non-mobility perks that Cooler provides, but as compensation, you don't lose the Flow Aura when you die. It'll just eat away at your 30-second timer. Anyway though, the overlap with Tacticooler is really my main issue with Flow Aura. It just feels kinda weird that the game has both. My initial thought was that Flow Aura was introduced as an attempt to make Tacticooler less mandatory, but to be honest, I feel like most teams run Tacticooler for the perks that Flow Aura doesn't provide, aka the quick super jump, quick respawn, and special saver. So yeah, I got no clue why they decided to bring in Flow Aura at this point. I guess they're just testing stuff out for Splatoon 4. From a dually player's perspective, Flow Aura can be really nice depending on which dually you're using. As I mentioned earlier, dapple dualies are the real winner here. This weapon is already fast, and activating Aura is just going to amplify that. Dapples also greatly benefit from intensify action, as well as splat dualies. Dually squelchers are really underrated with Flow Aura in my opinion, since this is another weapon that can really benefit from all the perks, especially the run speed and intensify action. The same can be said for Dowser dualies, but the real losers here are Tetras and Glugas. Don't get me wrong, Aura is still nice to have for these weapons, but they're just not benefiting as much as the rest of the dualies. Glugas are very slow and clunky, so the extra mobility perks aren't going to be doing too much. This weapon also doesn't really benefit at all from intensify action. With Tetra, you're pretty much always dodge rolling, so you're not really going to have much opportunity to make use of run speed and intensify action. The swim speed and ink resistance can be nice though, for both Tetra and Gluga. But to conclude this section, Flow Aura is ultimately just a nice quality of life feature that doesn't really change up the game too much, at least in my opinion. The next major change was the addition of health bars. As you all know, many people were skeptical about this feature before the patch actually dropped. I saw a lot of comments saying that the health bars looked ugly, and there was concern that they would create visual clutter. Even I was worried about that last part. Fortunately though, once the patch dropped, the reception of health bars has seemed to be extremely positive. Personally speaking, I love them. They were designed in the perfect way to not be intrusive while still providing important information when you need it. In fact, if I'm not paying attention, I sometimes barely even notice the health bars are even there, which is a good thing. The main complaint that I still see is that people are just saying that the health bars look ugly, which, to be honest, I don't really agree with. I mean, sure, they are extremely simplistic, but I think that was done on purpose for the reason I mentioned earlier. They didn't want it to be intrusive. Sure, they could have maybe added a little more Splatoon flair to them, but that would come at the risk of them being a bit more distracting. I really think they handled handled these in the best way possible. Okay, now let's talk about the hitbox changes. When I first heard about this, I was really excited. I've always thought that the squid form hitbox was a bit too lenient, and I also felt that the kid form hitbox was a bit too strict. So to see both of these issues addressed in the same patch really made me excited. As for the actual implementation, it's about what I expected. I can definitely feel the smaller hitbox when trying to shoot at people that are swimming. As for the enlarged weapon hitboxes, I honestly don't notice too much, with the exception of a few weapons. But hey, I mean, that's probably a good thing, right? Regarding dualies, the only weapon that feels noticeably better is the dapple dualies. This thing's hitbox is so lenient now. It was already lenient before, and the weapon benefits a lot from flow aura. Dapples are 100% the best dualie after this patch dropped. From what I've seen, most of the community has been positive about the hitbox changes, but I have seen a few competitive players complaining that the AoE spam feels even worse now, which I can definitely understand. We'll see if my opinion changes as time progresses. The last big change in this patch was the stealth jump nerf, which I don't really have too much to say about. It felt super weird at first, but I got used to it pretty quickly, and I do think this is very healthy for the game. In fact, I'm surprised it took them this long to make this change. Stealth jump was just too powerful for too long. Every single dualie suffers from this change, but so do like 90% of the weapons in the game, so it evens out. But if you're curious, yes, you should still run stealth jump on dualies. I think you can afford to not run it on dowsers anymore, but that's about it. Okay, so those were all the major new features in the patch, but we're not done yet. There were balance changes as well. I'm not gonna go through every single change here, but I will talk about the ones that I find important. Obviously, Tetra dualies got a buff for the first time in 8 years. Was it impactful? Overall, I'd say yes, but it's not like this change is going to make the weapon become top tier or anything. It's just a nice quality of life change. Interestingly, I find that this change helps the most in spread mode, which is really nice for Tetra. I get a lot of kills now that I definitely would not have gotten before the buff. The next change we need to talk about is Dynamo. Oh boy, this weapon is absolutely crazy now. And if you're someone who uses any of the short range dualies, or really just any short range weapon at all, I know that you've definitely felt some pain since this update dropped. Our weapons were already bad against Dynamo before the patch. Our only saving grace was that nobody played it. But now, I pretty much see 1 to 2 Dynamos every single match. It's disgusting. Did Dynamo deserve these buffs? I guess. But what they really do need to change, and I'm confident that they will, is nerf the points for special on every single Dynamo kit by at least 10 points. The vanilla Dynamo could honestly be nerfed by 20. These things paint like crazy now. The only other change that I'll talk about here is S-Blast. The nerf they gave it was good, but I do think they could hit it with one more nerf to truly make it balanced. But it might be okay right now, only time will tell. Oh yeah, they also changed Reef Slider. It now paints worse, but has a bigger lethal radius. Honestly, this is what Reef Slider should have been like from day one. It being used as a zones cheese special was always really lame to me, and it was so inconsistent at killing. But now, it feels much better, especially for Tetras and Dapples. Well, that about covers everything. So overall, what do I think of this update? Did it save Splatoon 3? If you guys didn't know, I've been pretty checked out of Splatoon 3 for the last 7 months because the game just felt so stale. And from what I saw online, a lot of people felt the same way. I even made a whole video talking about this, and nearly every single comment agreed that the game was in a pretty rough spot. But now, 11.0 is here, and they made some big changes. Is the game in a better spot now? Currently, I want to say yes. Big changes like this were exactly what I think the game needed. Throughout Splatoon 3's life cycle, I had always felt that they played it super safe, both with the updates and just the entire game as a whole. So for them to suddenly introduce a lot of new mechanics like this was really refreshing. Even if some of the mechanics didn't change too much, like Flow Aura, it's still a very welcome addition and makes the game feel renewed. Obviously, there were some good changes to my main weapons, so that definitely helps sway my opinion of this update. I'm happy to say that, as of right now, I'm playing the game a lot again, and it feels good. However, I really do hope that some more third kits are on the way, as well as some more extra content. 11.0 was great, but I don't see the new mechanics holding people's interest for that long. There needs to be some extra content to complement it, and honestly, I'm confident that there will be more content. I think the devs are going to take their time for Splatoon 4, and of course, they're also working on Splatoon Raiders right now. I think them drip feeding a little new content to keep Splatoon 3 alive is smart, while we wait for an incredible new mainline game. At least, I really hope so. Before I go, I do want to know, what do you guys think of the update? Are you more interested in the game now, or did it not do much for you? Also, are you feeling positive about the new mechanics, or are you not a huge fan? Let me know everything down below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and as always, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.